Hi everybody. Today we will be talking about this book, To Kill a Mockingbird. It is required for all American citizens and American schools to read it during their education. To give you an idea for those who haven't read it yet, it's basically about a lawyer, a white lawyer, defending a black guy in court against white people, and it's about what him and his children have to go through during the 60s, because 60s racism was a huge issue and it was not a pretty sight. So before getting to more details and questions, let me introduce you to our guest, Saidah Lee.
Hi, I'm honored to be a guest on this show.
Thank you for coming. So
Yeah.
Saidah here is a huge fan of To Kill a Mockingbird, and so am I. I actually really love the book. But yeah, Saidah, do you know the author by any chance?
Yeah, Harper Lee. I'd
Yeah,
always want to talk with her about the book. And
really? Well, today's the day your dream comes true, because I actually invited Harper Lee to join with us today.
what?
Hi,
This is
Harper.
crazy.
Thanks for coming.
Hi.
So as you all know, this is Harper Lee, and so let's get started with the questions. So, first let's start with Saidah. What inspired you to read this book?
Yeah, so one day me and some friends were just talking about racism somehow, and then To Kill a Mockingbird was mentioned, and I realized that I've never read it, even though so many people have recommended it to me. So I was just curious what it was about, and then I decided to read it, and it was actually really good. I really enjoyed it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so Harper, I heard rumors that you kind of gave up halfway writing this book. Is it true? And if it is, why did you do it?
Yeah, well, I thought it was not a well written book, so I was about to throw it away, but then my editor came and she convinced me that it will succeed, and yeah, it did, thanks to her.
I don't know why you thought it wasn't well written, because I thought it was like the best way it could have been written ever. So yeah, I actually
Yeah.
loved it. Okay, next question. So the main lesson that was taught in this book was about like courage and equalities in the world. And what can you say about this, Saidah? Like, yeah.
Yeah, I think the book uses racism in their small town to show human morality and the courage that is needed to face these important topics and what it takes to be like Atticus. And Scout and Jem, they grow up to learn that there's evil in the world and their town isn't as perfect as they thought. So they're just really maturing and they're no longer as innocent.
Yeah. So Harper, what inspired you to write about racism?
During this time that I wrote this book, racial discrimination was a huge issue, and I wanted to tell everyone what racism really does to people, and I was just motivated to write about the themes in this book while growing up in a southern place.
Well, I think you did a great job spreading these messages. Okay, next question. So there were so many themes in this book, such as like racial inequality, discrimination, innocence, and different perspectives, and so much more. But for you, Seda, what was the main takeaway?
Well, one of the biggest things that I took away from this novel was that there's always different sides to a story and that we should never base our judgment of someone on their outward qualities or rumors said about them.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Also, Harper, I enjoyed the whole book and I thought everything was great. But was there any particular part of the book you were like the proudest of?
Yeah, one of the scenes that after the trial ended, right before Atticus walked out of the courtroom, he said a long speech about this trial and how racism affects people and the lives of our community. And the trial really showed how injustice and unfairness can affect the colored people and how our active bias can change people's lives. So we have to be careful with how we act toward each other.
Yeah, I thought that scene was beautiful. Do you have any favorite characters in the book, Harper?
Well, like I said, Atticus, because
Yeah.
he was my father, and I mean, my father inspired me to write about Atticus, and so I liked Atticus because of his moral standards and how he loved his children. He tries to teach his children about the world, but still protects them in a way. And I think Atticus is an ideal father that everyone should look up to.
Yeah. And your father was a lawyer too, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay. For Saidah, who could you relate to the most from the book?
Um, I think I can relate to Scout the most because, well, we're both the youngest, and she gets into fights with her older sibling, and she asks for advice, and I usually also do that. And I admire the way that she isn't afraid of being herself when Aunt Alexandra wants her to act more ladylike or to act just a certain way.
I go to my older sister too for advice, so I can totally relate with that. Okay, next question. This is about the title. Um, so why did you pick Mockingbird, and what does the mockingbird kind of symbolize in the book, Harper?
Well, it's innocence because mockingbirds don't really hurt others and they only sing songs, so they're really innocent. But it also symbolizes another character, which I'm not gonna say until you finish this book.
Okay. Um, and yes, so Seda, how do you think Jem changed throughout the book?
Well, I think Jem, he really matures throughout the book with his father's lessons and experiences. Um, he becomes no longer naive to certain situations in the world, and he develops his own sense of thinking and his own sense of courage.
Oh, yeah, that's okay. Last question, Harper. Um, who is Boo Radley, and why is he so significant in this book?
Boo Radley is very significant and an important figure, and you'll see why in the end.
Okay, well, that's it for the questions. Thank you everyone for coming to the surprise fan meeting. It was great to have a chat about To Kill a Mockingbird and to hear some opinions on different aspects of the novel. So we hope to hear about your thoughts as you open your own copy of To Kill a Mockingbird. And thanks again. Please subscribe for more book discussions. And if you want to get To Kill a Mockingbird, description down below, you can get it. Please go read it. It's amazing. So thanks again, Saidah Lee and Harper Lee. It was.
Thank
I love having
you.
you here. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.